Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's update. What a week it has been. It's been the week we've been finally waiting for, getting all the students back into school and seeing them all, and it's been absolutely incredible. It's just been a real joy to see the smiling faces of all the primary school students and seeing them at collection with their parents has been absolute joy. The students who have been making practical work and dissecting hearts in secondary school, making parachutes, analysing poetry, learning about Elizabethan England. It's just been brilliant to walk around the building and seeing so many students back and just feeling a little bit normal in these very, very strange times. So I want to thank everyone. Attendance has been over 90% each of the days, and that across both phases, and that's been absolutely amazing and a testament to everyone. So I want to thank everyone involved making this a real success. All the staff, all the students, yourselves, parents, carers who have been involved, getting everybody back to school. It's been a real success, and it's been one of the strangest weeks of my career. So much joy and happiness in seeing all the children, yet overshadowed obviously still with this threat of rising cases of COVID, and we can't take our eyes off that. We can't ignore that. And it was lovely to see so many students getting it right. You know, one-way systems being introduced, hand washing being introduced, all of the different things in school were being introduced. It's a strange place to be, and I completely understand that. And so many, the vast majority, were absolutely brilliant, and we'll continue to learn that in all of these new ways. And I completely get that it's strange for everyone involved. So thank you for that. And as I say, thank you for all the parents and families, with all the patients as well, especially with primary lining up. You've been absolutely brilliant, and we're really doing our best to try and look at that. And we're always changing things and slightly changing the times of the day and all of the other things we're doing to make sure that it's good. And thank you to all the Year 7 parents who have been so supportive. And it's been lovely to see all those smiling faces and bringing into school. And they're going to be an absolutely phenomenal year group. So absolutely brilliant. And the achievement this week of actually getting back to school, we should not overlook that. It's been nothing short of incredible. So it's been brilliant. But we have to be honest as well. And we have to realise and agree and admit that the pandemic hasn't gone away. This isn't something that we can now ignore. As I said, cases are rising, especially in the local area, and we still must make sure that we are working together on this, that we're doing everything we can to mitigate any risk. We're keeping our social distance. We're making sure our hygiene standards are really, really high. And it's really, really hard. Old habits die hard. And it was lovely seeing the students come back and getting them to see their friends and all of the other things. But we've got to try and make sure that they don't huddle in small groups, that they don't walk too close together, they don't give each other hugs, and that's a really weird experience. But we can't allow that, because the worst thing that would happen after all of the hard work that's gone on from yourselves, from the school, from the students, that we take a step back. So we've still got to remember all of the guidelines. We've still got to remember all the social distancing, even when we've got a full school. On Monday, we're going to have over 1,000 students in school. So it's even more important than ever to make sure that we keep those social distancing guidelines to avoid the spread of this terrible disease. Because of what I don't want is to have to say a video saying that we're having to close, that we've got cases in school, that we're not able to run a full school, and that would be terrible. Now, more than likely we will get to cases. Let's not be unrealistic with that. We're doing everything we can, but we need it to happen in the community as well. We need it to happen in the families, that everybody's taking all of the precautions so that we keep this virus at bay for as long as possible. As you know, we've put a huge number of things in place. We've got the hand washing on entry, we've got sanitising in every classroom and around the school, we've got the one-way system, we've got face coverings we're insisting on wearing whenever you're not in class or outside, and that's really important. So please support your children and your families to do that. We've removed a huge amount of furniture to make sure there's more circulation and space in school. We've introduced individual equipment packs for all students in secondaries, and the same again, make sure we've got more equipment in primaries, a highly rigorous cleaning routine in primary, so that any toys or shared equipment is wiped down, all of this. And as I say, it'll be all for nothing if we don't follow the social distancing guidelines. That's such a big thing, keeping that 2 meters, whether that's in school and out school. And it's really, really unfortunate. And it's really fortunate, and we've got to keep on doing that. It's been really unfortunate that we have had to send some students home, because we haven't been able to trust these students to keep the same standards that your children have, and that's been really important. We're not prepared to drop our standards. We're not prepared to lower our expectations of students, which put other students at risk and your children at risk, and we're not prepared to do that. So we will continue to keep these really, really high standards. The most important message I'm going to give tonight is about your own well-being, your own health, and your own feeling of wellness. If you or any member of your family have the symptoms associated with COVID, a high temperature, a continuous new cough, loss of taste or smell, or a real sense of fatigue, then please stay at home. Everybody in the household must stay at home. Go and get yourself a test. There's a walk-in centre in Asda. It's about 48 hours, 72 hour, 2 to 3 day turnaround for that. And you must stay at home and isolate yourselves until you get that test result back. We have had cases where students have come in saying, oh, someone in the family has had a test or is waiting for a test or is showing symptoms and we've had to send them home. And we will continue to do this. You must stay at home. You must make sure your children stay at home and everybody else stay at home if this happens. And this is, again, to protect the virus. Now, more than likely, you won't have it. More than likely, your test result will be negative and we can invite them back into school. If the test result is positive for anyone at home, then we'll be asking the whole family to stay at home for 14 days. And again, that's really important. That's about keeping that virus quarantined so it doesn't get spread around. And the word that you may have heard is something called asymptomatic. That means someone who doesn't show any symptoms. And quite often that's what young people have. They don't show very severe symptoms. They might just feel a bit off, a little bit poorly. So again, it's much better to err on the sense of caution and to make sure that if you have anybody at home, you just keep them off. Go and get yourself a test, wait for the result. Because of all the online work we're doing with all the teams, that should make sure that you're able to access education whilst you're at home. Progress leaders will be getting in contact with you. Year managers will be getting in contact with you. So we'll make sure that you're always able to support your student with the work. So this successful start can only continue if we all do our bit, if we all work together, if we all keep these really high standards that we've already set and that the students have shown that they can meet, and that's been brilliant. So we will continue to do everything and obviously we'll continue to update. Last week I said I talked to you about curriculum changes and what we're doing in school to make sure we catch up on all the missed work. Now, the vast majority of students engage with online learning during lockdown. And so the biggest plan that we have is basically teaching brilliant lessons like we always have done. We have got some incredible teachers in school and you couldn't ask for a better set of professionals. And so I know and I trust their judgment. They will be able to identify gaps very quickly when they're teaching students, no matter how long they've been there, whether we've only just met them or whether they've been in the school for 4 or 5 years. And after knowing those, after identifying those gaps in learning, the teachers and the middle leaders and all the people involved will be looking at the curriculum and making sure that we support and fill those gaps. And we'll be giving more information out over the coming weeks through progress leaders and lots of different ways we'll be able to do that. But what we're not going to be doing is testing students, because what we want them to do is enjoy their lessons, enjoy their learning, because that's what they've missed. We've also had to make some changes in year 9 and in year 10. So with year 9 options, we've had to make sure that we were halfway through the option process. Only half of students had completed their option form. And so we have allocated students options. And obviously we'll be reviewing that. But for this first 6 weeks, we won't be moving any students around. And in year 10, we have had to, again, change some of the options that students face because we wanted to make sure that they had their best possible chance of success come the exams next year and the following year for students. And those students will have been contacted. As of yet, we don't know what's going to happen with the examination season in 2021. We're still not being told by the government whether or not it'll be centre assessed grades, whether it'll be exams, whether the exams will be pushed back and they'll be later, whether it'll be a combination of both. And so it's really important that students recognise this in years 10 and 11 and make sure that they work from the off or really hard on what they should be doing, making sure that every single piece of work they complete is the best it can possibly be. Because all of this potentially could go towards their final grade like it did this year. And that's really important. We're also using Teams more and more. This is this online learning platform that you'll be finding out more about, and your students are getting your children are getting trained on over the coming weeks about putting resources online so that should you have to isolate with your family, all of the resources that you'd have normally in school will be online. And if we went into some form of lockdown, then we'd still be able to teach. We'll be doing live lessons through that, live feedback through that. And so that Teams is a really important way of communication. So please make sure you're aware of that and how we're using that and talk to your children about that. That's really important. So that's it from me tonight. I just want to again say thank you very much to everyone involved who has been supporting us. And I can't wait to see everybody next week. Take care, keep safe, and I'll speak to you soon.